Hello and welcome to another episode of Nightcap with Nightcat, the kitsch-minded show where we talk about toys, boys, and life's other joys. I am your host, Nightcat. Thank you so much for being here. How has your week been? How's everything been? You know what? You never call, and you definitely should. The number is... I forgot the number. 601-557-CAT1. That's 601-557-2281. You can leave me a voicemail or shoot me a text anytime. I always want to know what's going on with you. We have such an awesome show coming up. First of all, we got to get into the LITTERBOX with some real stupid news, and we're going to talk about Piers Morgan and what a butthole he is. And then I'm going to open my first birthday present of this birthday season, thanks to my roommate, who is insisting I open it before my actual birthday. But before we get into any of that, I wanted to show you one of my most favorite recent thrift store finds. This giant book, The 100 Most Infamous Criminals. I got it at the used bookstore over on 11th East in Sugar House. Listed for $12. I got it for $8 because I had trade-in points because I traded books in. Thank you so much. You know I love a bargain. It just has tons of pictures and summaries of what these monsters did. Ed Gein. Ooh, spooky Ed Gein. There are so many. In fact, 100 of them. Now, this is great, and I've actually had this for a couple of weeks now, and I've wanted to show you for a while, but there's a very, very, very specific reason that I have waited. Let me just set her right here, bring this on over. Here's why. A little while ago, I announced that I would be doing a true crime companion podcast called Curiosity Killed Nightcat. And I'm so happy to say, I have finally figured out when I'm going to drop it. So the official launch date for Curiosity Killed Nightcat, the true crime companion podcast to the Nightcap with Nightcat YouTube channel, is March 26th for patrons. People on my Patreon, if you haven't heard about Patreon, if you join the Patreon at either $3 or $5 a month, you're gonna get Curiosity Killed Nightcat a week before anyone else gets it. So you have some incentive now to go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/nightcatshow. But this I'm super excited about because I used to do a true crime podcast back when I was working in radio called Saturday Morning Serial, and it was very popular and I loved it because I got to trick everyone into thinking I was working when all I was doing was watching cold case files. But I'm really excited to bring it back, and we're gonna do even more than just true crime. We're gonna talk about crazy historical facts. We're gonna talk about ghosts. We're gonna talk about aliens, paranormal, Bigfoot. I want to hear all of your encounters as well. Tell me your Bigfoot encounters. Tell me your ghost stories. I want to hear it all. I would love if everyone just left me a voicemail of the time they saw a ghost. I know all of you saw a ghost at one point or another. I want to hear about the time you saw a ghost. Maybe next week I'll tell you about the time that I think I maybe saw a ghost. The number is 601-557-CAT1. That's 601-557-2281. Just leave a voicemail with all of your ghost facts. I want to hear them. Curiosity Killed Nightcat, of course, dropping March 26th for Patreon, which means everyone else is going to get it April 2nd. Friday, April 2nd is the official launch date after Patreon has had their turn with it. So if you want to get a hold of any of this, you should go subscribe to the Nightcat Radio Podcast. The Nightcat Radio Podcast is the umbrella of it all. I post the audio from all of our Nightcap with Nightcat episodes there. The morning show that I've been hosting, the morning announcements here on this YouTube channel, I'm posting all of the audio for that up on Nightcat Radio. And every Friday, there's going to be a brand spanking new Curiosity Killed Nightcat. You can find the links for all of this, the Patreon, the Nightcat Radio Podcast, and everything else down in the description of this video. Look for the link tree. The link tree will take you anywhere that you need to go. Anyway, I've got research materials. Oh, I don't know who I'm gonna do first. I'm really freaking excited about this. By the way, how sexy is Bonnie and Clyde? That's such a good picture. Solid. All right. enough true crime talk. I know that's not why you're here, perhaps, but perhaps you are here for some stupid news. So let's get into the litter box. Ew, what stinks in here? The litter box is the part of the show where I dig through the stupid news from the week and I bring you back only the good stuff. I go sifted through the garbage so that you don't have to. And we're gonna get started with, I know this is hard to believe, sportsketball. I am going to talk about sportsketball. You better believe it. I even know a thing or two about sportsketball right now, including baseball spring training season has already started, and that the Cubs played the Diamondbacks yesterday. I know. How did I know all of this? Well, something very, very important happened during the game that caught my attention. A goose landed out in right field and then just refused to leave. It didn't matter if there were baseballs flying past it. It stood right where it was. It's like, this is my lawn. Get out of here. And then there was at one point even a player running toward him and he charged the player. This goose was not messing around. I love his attitude. He's like, no, get out of here. Get off my lawn, you stupid kids. I was here first. You guys have been gone all winter. This is my time. This is my turf. They should have known, though, that something was wrong with this goose, because here's what happened before the game started. The goose was already on it. He sees another goose and he's like, not on my turf. Look at that mouthful of feathers. He got a whole mouthful of feathers. That thing is not playing around. Now, I just want to say to all the sportsketball executives that I know are obsessed with the Nightcap with Nightcat show, I would watch more sportsketball if it looked like this. If you just started releasing like wild animals out onto the field, I would start watching more sportsketball. Any of them. I don't care. Throw a bear out there. Make a bear take on the Cubs. Make the Cubs take on an actual bear to prove that they're actually the best athletes, is my opinion. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I think I just invented gladiator sports. Just throw a bunch of dudes in there with a tiger. We'll see what happens. Bless you, Goose. You're my favorite person in the entire world. All right, moving on. What do we got next? The royal family. So if you missed it, I recapped the interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry with Oprah on Sunday, and we just sort of talked about the highlights. Basically, she says that while she was there, the media was attacking her, and the royal family has like a whole PR unit that's supposed to protect them from that sort of thing, and they didn't do anything. The royal family hated her from the very beginning. And then they informed her that her son Archie, well, they didn't. They informed Harry, who had to inform her because they just gave her the cold shoulder. They informed him that their child would not be a prince, and because he's not a prince, he would not get the security detail. All of that kind of culminated into her feeling really isolated, and while this is happening, there are also conversations within the royal family that Harry has to have, apparently, where they're asking him, how dark is this kid gonna be? Because Meghan Markle's, half black, her mama's black, and they want to know just how black his kid is going to be. And then all of a sudden he can't be a prince, is what it boiled down to. Just straight racism. That's all it is. And then she also talked about how because she was getting attacked from all angles and there was no protection, and obviously she was having kids, and that was very stressful. And she's like, I'm having a baby. I need to get out of here. I don't want to live anymore. And she talked about how she had suicidal thoughts as well. So it was a spicy interview. I recapped all of it over, well, not all of it, but most of it on Morning Announcements. If you go check out the Morning Announcements playlist here on the Nightcap with Nightcat channel, you'll be able to find that. But that's not what we're here for. This is how the royal family has responded thus far. It took them a little while, but Queen Elizabeth sent out a statement through Buckingham Palace that essentially said, we didn't realize the extent to the bullying Meghan was experiencing, which, how do you not? How could You haven't seen any of this? Like, you didn't know about this? Your PR team definitely did. The people who are supposed to be doing that definitely saw it all and chose not to do anything. So I'm going to call BS on that, you old bag. But then she also says that the statements that Meghan made about race were concerning. That's it. Oh, it's just, oh, so British. Just, this is a wee bit concerning. I can't do accents. I'm sorry. That was starting to turn into the Lucky Charms leprechaun. I don't think that Queen Elizabeth is the Lucky Charms leprechaun, but I also, now that I think about it, have never seen Queen Elizabeth and the Lucky Charms leprechaun in the same room at the same time. So you explain that to me. So while all this is happening at Buckingham Palace, Prince Charles, Harry's dad, is out doing his work. These people's work is endorsing things, showing up to things, ribbon cuttings, that sort of thing. Well, he's out at a mass vaccination clinic, and he's trying to promote to British people, hey, go get vaccinated. And that's great. I'm a big fan of that. Great job on that. Well, the publicity photos came out later through an IG account that's linked to the royal family, and I think that there's just something a little bit interesting about all of these pictures. In every one of these pictures, he is standing surrounded, hold on, I'll go close up to it. He's surrounded by black people. It was all black people. So he just decided, you know what? I need to do some damage control. Let's get some really good pictures of me with black people, and we'll call it a day. What are you doing? I just feel like if you are going out of your way after your family has been accused of racism and someone in the family was asking Harry how dark their kid was, that person might feel a little guilty. And that person might want to repair some public image before it becomes a problem. And that person might go track down a place where he can get a picture with a lot of black people. So Prince Charles, I see right through your game. Your days are numbered, brother. That is it for you. You and that queen. I can't wait until the queen has to get a job at Olive Garden to pay for anything. Like, this whole family's going down, and I love it. So I'll keep you posted on how all of that is going. What do we got next? Oh my gosh. Human trash bag. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, speaking of the royal family, he's had a real kink in his neck, shall we say, about Meghan Markle. I guess Meghan Markle met Harry at one of his dinners or something like that, and then she went on a date with Harry the next night, and then apparently she never called Piers Morgan ever again. She ghosted him. So he has been attacking this poor woman for years on the Good Morning Britain show. And he's like the main host, obviously. He's super famous, even though he's disgusting. And he, at any time he gets, he's one of the worst of them that was making these stories that were so ridiculous against Meghan Markle that weren't true at all. He was such a big integral part of this. And finally, after this interview aired, his co-host, Alex Bresford, that's what I'm going with. Alex says, Piers, listen, I understand that you have some sort of relationship with her and that it went sour and she didn't call you back, but you do realize that she doesn't have to call you back. And you've been really attacking her. And Piers Morgan lost it. He stood up and he's like, no, mate, you know what? You can trash me, but you're not going to trash me on my own show. And he stormed off the set during live television. Oh my gosh. This is just such crybaby behavior. He spent like the last 3 or 4 years tormenting this poor woman, and he couldn't handle 20 seconds of criticism. And for this reason, we're naming Piers Morgan the Nightcap with Nightcat's first ever Butthole of the Week! Butthole of the Week! Piers Morgan, you're a butthole, and we don't like you very much at all, you big crybaby. I hope you cry into a river. I hate this guy, I really do. He looks like a Colin Firth balloon that someone blew up, deflated, and then filled with, like, gas station nacho cheese. He's vile, and the things that come out of his mouth about other people. Oh! Anyway, so after all this happens, apparently he went backstage, had a meeting with the producers, and they all decided it would be best if he didn't continue hosting the show. So he is Peace out. I actually regret filming this the day before it airs because I'm sure there's going to be some more hot gossip about the Piers Morgan. If you want to catch up on any of that, I talk about most of these things on morning announcements. Check it out. It's really fun. And finally, a company wants to pay you $1,000 to play Cornhole. That's it. You just got to play Cornhole. It is My True Green Lawn. It's an online retailer for True Green Lawn Care. They are having this contest, and they're having people enter on their website for a chance to play Cornhole 5 separate days and do a worksheet about it, and then they'll give you $1,000. I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true, but I looked it up. It looks like it's pretty legit. Again, My True Green Lawn is the website, and they're taking entries through April 2nd. They're going to announce the winner on April 7th. And I gotta tell you, this is a pretty solid deal. $1,000 to play Cornhole. I pay the government like $10,000 a year to get cornholed. So you should probably apply for this. I think it's pretty solid. And that is the litter box. I think it's time that I open a birthday present. So let's get into some sunken treasure. Sunken treasure is the part of the show where usually I dig into my toy collection and we play with something awesome. But this week is a little bit different. My roommate, Veronica, who's hiding in the corner, she doesn't want to be on camera. Hi. She has gotten me a birthday present. My birthday is next Tuesday, March 16th. It's a big one. I'm gonna be 30. And she's been dying to give this to me forever. So I thought it would only be appropriate to open it on the last Nightcap with Nightcat of my 20s. Doesn't that sound like fun? So you get to watch me open my birthday present. She literally has been dying for this day, and the cats have been digging under her bed trying to get into it. She goes, it's not for cats, but they're obsessed. Ah! Are you serious? Ah! No, you didn't. I think I'm gonna cry. Oh my God. This is the Britney Spears official Barbie stage. It lights up. It plays the music. Oh, I'm just dying. I can't handle it. Oh, I feel bad even opening it. It's in really great condition. Oh, look at her. She's gorgeous. I love her so much. All right, let's take a look at this box. So there she is, just 3 times. Hot, hot, hot. I can't believe you did this. I really genuinely cannot believe this. Had I known, I would have had batteries ready to go. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna punch out the cardboard back, but imagine, you know, it's there. I don't want to ruin the box like that, but it's really cool. Oh, come here, gorgeous. You know, I gotta tell you, she's looking a little Elsa here. Britney! My sister had one of these when I was a kid. And I used to sneak into her room and play with it all the time. I was obsessed with it. And I have been waiting my whole life for this day, for my very own to play with. Oh my gosh. Oh, girl, come on out. Hello. Give him a bow. Whew. Man, I wish I could knew any of her dance moves. I'm gonna have to learn some choreography for this. Oh, you know what? How about tomorrow on the morning announcements? So that'll be Thursday morning on the morning announcements. I'm gonna slap some batteries into this thing, and we're really gonna dig into it. I am dead. I cannot have. Thank you, Veronica. I love you so much. All right. Well, this is not a bad way of turning 30. You know, I got Barbies when I turned 30. What did you get when you turned 30? A receding hairline, maybe? Ugh. I got that early, don't worry. And that is Sunken Treasure. I think it's time to dig into some of the traumatizing things in my past with some Nightcat Classic Tales. I choked. Well, welcome to NIGHTCAT Classic Tales. I'm leaving that in. This is the part of the show where usually I sip some tea and it's fine, but today I choked. But it's also the part of the show where I relive some past drama, some past trauma even, for you, for your amusement, because I just like you that much. And today we're going to talk about, I spent years working in the service industry. It is not easy. Customer service is very, very difficult when nobody knows anything and you have to pretend they're right. It's frustrating. And I spent a long time doing food service and retail and everything. And one of the things that I did while I was doing my service work, paying my dues, getting through life, was I worked as an assistant manager at a movie theater. And my very first day as assistant manager, this happened. I had already worked there for a few years, just as, a teenager box office concession employee. And then I got promoted to manager. And I spent a couple of days training with people. And on my first solo night, I was like, all right, I got this. I've been training. I'm so smart. I can handle anything. Because I was like 20 and I thought I was so smart. Oh, you think you're so smart when you're 20. And I was immediately just beat down because there were lines. I had sent people home because there was this big push to, cut payroll. So I was like, yeah, we're slow, we're fine. And then we were short-staffed and we got lines out the door all night long. So I was cleaning theaters and popping popcorn and selling tickets and getting employees on breaks. And by the time that all ended, the night was over and I was already behind on work. I couldn't get the deposit to match, and then all of the toilets decided to overflow in the men's room. As the movies are letting out, every time a guy flushes, there are like 10 urinals in the bathroom, and anytime a guy pees and flushes, it goes down to the very last urinal and right back out. I don't know anything about plumbing. I don't know how to fix that. So I'm in there with a squeegee, just trying to squeegee it all into the drain hole in the middle of the floor, knowing full well that the shoes I was wearing with holes all over them were definitely being saturated by toilet water and stranger pee. Well, as I'm squeegeeing all this junk at some point I just considered looking at all the men and saying, can you just pee right in the drain? Can we all stop this? Just pee into the drain. It's going in there anyway. But I thought that might be a little inappropriate. So I'm sitting there squeegeeing this disgusting mess into a drain this big all across the bathroom. And a fella who, let's just say that vertical jumps are not his forte. He comes on in, and everyone's walked around the puddle as I'm frantically squeegeeing, but he has decided to take the, brave path of jumping over the puddle. He makes it about a quarter of the way, lands, and splashes me. It hits my face, it hits every part of my body, and I still have to count the deposit. So I finally get everything counted. I get the bathroom cleaned. It's time to go. And I forgot how to set the alarm. So I think I'm setting it. I just hold the set button, right? Nope, not on this one. The police are called because they think that what I've hit is a panic button and I can't get it to shut off, and ADT tells me, or whoever it was, I don't know, some security system, they tell me that they won't turn it off until the police get there and give them the all clear because this is a panic situation. Just stay in the office until given further instructions. Our further instructions, me and the one last employee who was going to walk me to my car, our instructions were don't wear any big coats, don't take any bags out with you, walk straight out the movie theater door, and slowly walk west. There are officers with their weapons drawn around the corner. So I take everything off, and which is fine because it's covered in pee anyway. And I slowly make my way out. And all I see is like a cop's right eye and like just a gun poking around the corner. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not a criminal, I'm just stupid. And they didn't immediately put their guns away, and they just asked a lot of questions and walked through and make sure everything was okay, and then they left and taught me how to set the alarm because they knew and I didn't, which was really, really exceptional. So that is how I ended up covered in other people's pee with a gun pointed at me. It's a miracle that I've even made it to even close to 30. I almost said 30. It's still almost a week away. Let's knock on wood that doesn't change anytime soon. Warm milk, good news stories to help you get to sleep. But before we get into that, I do want to take a second to thank some people who have been providing me with some more milk lately. My patrons, patreon.com/nightcatshow. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's an awesome service that allows you to support your favorite artists. Just like me, I'm independent right now, and I don't have a paycheck, and this is how I am making it work. This whole Nightcap with Nightcat operation, the merch store, everything, it all works because I've got monthly donations coming in from Patreon. And so one of the things you get at either level, either the $3 or the $5 level, is you get a shout out on an episode of Nightcap with Nightcat or Morning Announcements. So I want to thank these people for being awesome, incredible, exceptional patrons of the Nightcat brand, starting with my buddy Clint Christensen. He went above and beyond either of the tiers. He's donating a little extra. Clint and his wife Kylie are like two of my best friends in the entire world. I just love them so much. Clint, thank you so much for being a patron. You're gonna get the biggest bear hug next time I see you. It's ridiculous. Sadie Green, thank you so much, Sadie. I appreciate your patronage as well. Then we've got McKenna Jarman. Thank you, McKenna. Mikkel Esser. Thank you so much, Mikkel. I really appreciate it. And Maritza Brown. Maritza, bless you. Thank you so much. If you would like a shout out on Nightcap with Nightcat, or if you have a couple extra bucks that you can throw my way, that would be awesome so that we can keep making this show bigger and better and crazier and funner. Patreon.com/nightcatshow. That's where you're going to go find that. All right, moving on to warm milk. Pandemic times have been really hard on small businesses, but restaurants in particular. In fact, I was reading this story not too long ago about how there are a ton of what they call ghost kitchens popping up on like DoorDash and everything because they have all these kitchens that don't have people coming in, and so they're like, well, I guess we'll just make a whole nother different kind of cuisine in the kitchen to make some extra money, and they just open a virtual restaurant. So like Buca de Beppo would be slinging nachos or something, for example. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's like a big thing because restaurants are having a hard time getting people through the door. Understandably, pandemic living. It's been really hard. Well, a Chatsworth, California stuntman decided that he was not going to let his favorite restaurant suffer the same demise. His name I did not write down because why would I? But the restaurant is called Los Toros Restaurant, and it was hit particularly hard, and they were concerned that they might not end up making it through the pandemic. So the stuntman came up with a way to draw attention and get people through the door. He sat in a kiddie pool full of beans for 24 hours. He just sat there waiting for people to come on by and say hello. I really don't think that he is letting people dip in there and then eat it, but it was really great. The owner of the restaurant sounded really nice. He just basically said, yeah, when you take care of your community takes care of you. I don't know really if he meant bring me a bean sitter, but here we are with a bean sitter and it's working. Look, I'm talking about Los Toros. I'm not even in Chatsworth, California, and we're talking about Los Toros. I think this is actually the kind of stunt that I need for Nightcat. I think I need a bean sitter. Will somebody come sit on the beans to get me attention? That would be great, please. Okay, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching and supporting and being wonderful. The number, if you ever want to leave me a voicemail or text me, or maybe you're up late one night and you just can't get to sleep and you want to talk to someone, 601-557-CAT1. I would love if you went and checked out the merch store. It's all sorts of new stuff on there right now. We've got the official Nightcat merch. We also now have the Nightcat Toy Shack. I go in and I hand select a bunch of toys that you can buy. I tried to pick things that were going to be very reasonably priced for you and still I could make a little profit off of. So there's really fun stuff, all different, prices, and you're just gonna love it. NightcatMerch.com. Look for the Nightcat Toy Shack. It's really cool. And I'm doing those Easter grab bags, just a 6x10 envelope stuffed with goodies. I am working on those. They're getting out, I promise. Go check out Nightcat Radio because Curiosity Killed Nightcat is coming up. I'm so excited. I don't even have words. I'm so excited to bring back Curiosity Killed Nightcat. Go find Nightcat Radio on your favorite podcast directory. Until tomorrow morning announcements, I guess. That's when I'll see you next. Bye. Bye.